Dubik Mahama Ewiwe, such a drug addict. This guy called Dubik Mahama in any country. Since the day the news broke out, say Akwawe Yewi on Afenyo Markins connived. They came together per the investigations from the committee. The two criminals, the board chair and the ECG MD, came together to steal from Arsenal. Multimedia actually said they will be bringing this guy on TV to be doing what? To be cleaning himself.
Ebusuan ECG light hon sensem ebusuan prepare de no na trend e wo Ghana ha no ebusuan Dubik Mahama oni eye owura Afenyo Markins ebusuan akoye se sisi ade won two no na tension akoto won so akese obi a ebisa won ba bia eye sa ECG containers yi afa Kelvin Taylor abe revealing more secret ebusuan yenti no na kire wadwen efa video yi ehu.
This guy is a criminal. Dubik Mahama. And I catch the Attorney General. I have picked information say this criminal Dubik Mahama is your friend, and that seriousness also already attach ECG criminality. Yehu akwawe aton eye ECG containers. Kronoa oni Afenyo Markins born or ECG or resign here without giving us a reason. No, Attorney General Ayeni, I respect you. I am still investigating the matter. I swear to God, if I get a little piece of evidence to say it is because of your friendship with this guy, Tina, you don't want to go into the matter, you will not like me. If I get to know that you and this boy Dubik, because of your friendship, you don't want to address the ECG container theft, you will not like me. Intermediate, I'm setting the record straight. Now, this boy, Dubik Mahama, a chain smoker. Now, wakotena Joy News. You see, mameka bibinchiramu. Some of the media, almost say Ghana. Some of the media almost say Ghana. And a plan, especially multimedia, media. Right now, I can tell you, say, political talk show a Ghana a solid bakwa. I can say, me, binya time I share a key point on TV3. I don't want the only political show Ghana. Me when say Nipana or hostino, and they show the way it's been drafted, they show the way it's been carved, the presentation and the follow-up questions, and no one the only international reasonable show and the Ghana political show. Yeah, I'm being honest with you. Say about a Saturday shows. Key point. And no Joy News idea or more say political criminals they think they can use that cocaine media to rebrand political criminals like Dubik Mahama. And kwesichum Kennedy Agyapong catch that I say cocaine or the BA multimedia ever seen there ultimately respond here. It means it's true. I didn't know. Ghana for any until Kennedy Agyapong catch that say who kwesichum cocaine sikan or the BA multimedia ever seen there. You've not been able to clear yourself, meaning you are an ex-criminal, ex-cocaine dealer. Per Kennedy Agyapong statement. But you see, multimedia, right now, what they're doing, and they say, it has become a platform and as a news outlet that always cleans up drug addicts, criminals, political criminals. And that is what they are doing for this boy because he has paid Evans Mensah. And what they are doing is, right now, every single day, no matter multimedia so. This guy called Dubik Mahama in any country, he's not supposed to be given any platform to even speak on ECG matters. But the funny thing is, you will see multimedia since the day the news broke out, say Akwawe Yewi on Afenyo Markins connived. They came together per the investigations from the committee. The two criminals, the board chair and the ECG MD, came together to steal from Arsenal. Multimedia actually said they will be bringing this guy on TV to be doing what? To be cleaning himself. Into a multimedia, Joy News, I just say cocaine media. What they do is they clean drug addicts, criminal, political drug addicts. Now, my mention idea be AC, and why they be a catch Ghana for say privatization of ECG is paramount, and the government needs to hand over ECG. The operations, some of it to a Ghanaian private company. When it is foreign, I will not agree. But a Ghanaian private company needs to take over ECG. Mama show adebi. Oh, kwasi awe. Okotena eye Joy News, the same cocaine media. And he was trying to create an impression, say, the ECG that he was board member and became MD. The ECG is an entity that has never made profits. In fact, ECG was never at the table in terms of revenue. He is creating the impression, say, remember this guy, he was a board member before he became the MDU. And there were got some multimedia catch Ghana for say, ECG, you know, they never made revenue. And that no Ghanaian should stand up and be questioning ECG why they are not making money. Okay. Now, listen to this guy, Dubik Mahama.
Why did you merge the estate department with the
These challenges that you speak of now, I mean, when you were appointed, when you assumed office as managing director, these were not new to you because you had served as board member of ECG then.
I didn't say they were new to me. I said when they all came to, it's different from when you are sitting at the board. You're a policy director. Then finally you are put in the main chair and then on a daily basis. There's one thing that I have learned in my 2 years, 4 months of occupying that chair is that the theory that Mike Tyson gave that you always have a plan until you enter the ring and you are hit in the nose. And then you realize that everything is thrown out. Because you can wake up in the morning, all systems go, everything is working perfectly. You're chugging along nicely. By 2 o'clock, there's fuel shortage here. There's this here, there's that. Now the question you ask yourself is the cost of unsold energy. So what do? You have to, but you know, one of the things that we don't give credit for because most people don't have the backstory is that ECG was never ever at the table. ECG was never at the table in terms of revenue because ECG's revenue, when I joined the board, since time immemorial and everybody was talking, was always like this. There's no utilities revenue that flatlines.
Always on the same wavelength.
It was about 450, 500 million, 450, 500 million. But thanks be, the minister in his last interview said what? 1.5 billion.
Right.
1.5 billion is no mean feat. To move a company that was never at the table because at that point, everybody had to carry ECG. And in carrying ECG, what did it mean? You understand? Now, the main way or the single way for you to collect revenue is through meters.
Right.
Metering. Now, the question is, what's the lifespan of a prepaid meter? That's one thing most people don't know. Prepaid meters do expire.
And then when they do, I mean, there's no way of checking the consumption level
it is not
of consumers.
So PURC will do a beautiful job of giving ECG a tariff. ECG will fire the tariff into the meter while you are enjoying 2013 meter. Unfortunately for maybe Sule is on the 2022 meter, so he will receive the new tariff. Most of the meters are all, you know, prepaid metering started under President Akufo.
We'll come to the way forward.
I'm building the backstory
so that I can allow.
I'm building the backstory for you. So, in deciding to embark on the digitization journey, we called a few people in place. There was an unsolicited proposal which was going to be even considered under PDS, which we saw went through the whole thing. We changed how we procured meters. We changed how we installed meters. As at the time that I got into office, ECG had a huge lack of meters in the system. And ECG's installation was about 2,500 meters a month. As at the time I was leaving office, they were such an efficient machine that they were doing about 100,000 meter installations in a month. All of these things require investment.
Right.
You cannot have a multi-billion-dollar or billion CD industry in Ghana and not invest in it. I sometimes hear the whole conversation around it, and then you realize that, look, yes, ECG's debt. Oh, this is ECG's debt. But nobody fails to calculate what portion of the debt falls under, what do you call it? Forex losses. What is the portion? Because every single implement in ECG is in USD. From the you buy electricity in dollars, you sell it in CDs. By the time you are going back to procure those dollars to pay, what's the forex rate? You come into the office in the morning, you are rich. By the time you close, you're poor. For example, last year around this same time, it was February, when the whole digitization process ended, ECG went cashless.
What is he talking about? This is the immediate boss of ECG. Dubik Mahama, he was a board member before he was made the MD of ECG. From the beginning of his conversation, he just said the board is just a policy. They basically endorse policy. Now, you being a board member before becoming the MD, then it means you have prior knowledge about how ECG operates. Because as a board member, when a policy from the MD is put before you endorse that board, that policy, before you give that green light, we presume you have read that policy before you basically give it an endorsement. And now, if it's about money, you give the green light for money to be pumped into that policy. For you being on the ECG board before becoming the ECG MD, then basically you should have a prior knowledge of how ECG operates. You have no room, no excuse to give to us, because all the things you are talking about, that time I would be a human who say Mike Tyson proverb bitch say so ring punch is different. You already had an idea about what will happen in the ring because you were on the board. You looked through every policy document that was presented to the board. The ECG, it has never made any money. And the ECG, everything about it, when it comes to revenue, they have never been to the table. Meaning, ECG has been running debt from Tete. There was never a point at ECG could breaking even. Mamenchira wa debi. Miwi amechira obibi. Oh, say in some okay nyina chira say ECG no e kana amene omo. ECG no, they don't even have money to, at the end of the day, use in the operationalization of ECG. Okay? Akwa we time or ECG boss no. In some okay, time I workers ECG and that time I know 2023 they were donating 200 motorbikes to Ghana Police Service, an institution that is not able to meet its obligation. ECG institutional and to me sika and from more ECG no brano. The ECG is able to raise money to buy 200 motorbikes before elections to give to that police service. The question here is ECG priorities in any day. This is under Dubik Mahama, and I'm going to show you Tama Dubik Mahama sika we Agyarko motorbikes Adyama ECG Ghana Police no na ECG omo numbers saying, because from what you are telling us no, ECG basically is always bankrupt. ECG does not make any serious revenue. So if ECG wasn't making any revenue, yeah, I'll do that. If ECG wasn't making any revenue, how were you able to raise money to buy 200 motorbikes to give to Ghana Police Service? If you really say you are a manager who is looking out for the company and making sure your priorities are right, how were you able to raise 200 motorbikes? Where did you get the money? Because from the donation on the site of ECG, under your watch, Dubik Mahama, you presented 200 motorbikes to the police service. Now, this is the picture. You can see clearly. This is Dubik Mahama presenting motorbikes to the Ghana Police Service 2023. So the question here is, if ECG is not breaking even, if ECG is a company that is making losses under your watch every single day, the question is, where were you raising the 200 motorbikes money from? Was it from your pocket? Or it was from the same ECG that was not even breaking even? Now, my main show data no any chart no. Now my show BB about MPP 4-way. A simple data. Joy News for Nankasa and a Kweyi Baye. My main show near fan compare Dubik Mahama and Sama Oka. Now the dangerous and seriousness of the corruption now. Yeah, can want some every single day. Cause yeah, when I'm radio, so I comfort them. Yeah, interviews. Dubik Mahama a way. The who fee way. Such a drug addict. Maybe I make sure the real Dubik Mahama. Drugs now I say you. I will show you who he is. Okay? You see this? Let me show you this. You see this data? Look at the data carefully. I'm sure DB. You see, so we'll check ECG profitability 2012 to 2023. Dubik Mahama a cover any period and now your ECG boss. From in 2020, 2012, the first one, no, na ECG making loss of 136 million Ghana cedis. That was NDC time. 2013, na ECG was making a loss of 246 million. NDC time. Yeah, the data natural. In 2014, that was when Dumso was about to pick up. Even in 2014, a Canada ECG day, a tip from 246 million to 38 million. Something happened, and I'm a boy. Now, Dumso hit in 2015. ECG, a Canada course could do 291 million. This is under NDC. Now, look at 2016, baby, a green one. Baby, a green one. Answer na John Mahama free power no. Na ECG a break even and make profit to 209 million. 2015 na ECG a make loss of 291 million. Meaning, time na John Mahama eja ECG ashe NPP semuno. Na ECG had broken even. Na ECG debt and swallow omo. Sa time okofa Ameri car power. Time John Mahama solve Dumso we or handy over 2016 power ECG Edema MPP for no. Na ECG had made profit of 209 million Ghana cedis. Na ECG deka. The data we me boa Joy News for boa. Now in 2017, Nana do Kweku Addo mobile power ECG ekanu bedru 497 million. NDC ja 209 million profits eto ho. Nana Akufo Addo ne MPP for bar power. Ekano esaba back to 497 million. 2018 about 2.2 billion. They were not paying. Nana do Kweku Addo ne MPP for they were owing, they were not paying. Into a kind of ECG deno, a Gyamfi from a year 497 million in 2016, 2017, in 2018, it came straight to 2.2 billion under MPP. Shesibia Echo. Now, 2019, if you 2.2 billion, echo 1.46 billion. Now, election year 2020, ECG make profit of 410 million. Election year. Ask yourself why. Because that was the time they were trying to prove to Ghanaians said they can keep the power on. They start to settle some. And then they start to make it look like say power nijina. So into the second one 2020 then ECG ebenya infrastructure 410 million. Abrana 2019 1.4 billion. Now how do you see it? Right after election 2020, ECG circle back, echo bought a cat 1.45 billion. 2022 under Dubik Mahama, ECG accounted from 1.4 billion, it bedrew 8.6 billion. All this while from 2021 to 2023, na Afenyo Markins Omuna no more run ECG. Aya Kennedy Agyapong, Afenyo Markins mo. That is the time at Dubik Mahama mono. A cano from 2020 right after election. A Jampoko 1.4 billion. 2022 a cano Gyamfi drew 8.6 billion. 2023 Dubik Mahama every power, every ECG. Equity say on your Jumani Bimuno. Time Afenyo Markins air board chair. 2023 before 2024 na ECG at the cut 10.2 billion. Into the only time ECG and the MPP make sika a COVID-19 era sika. Every World Bank and IMF they lied and create impression we say everything is right. Into so we study chart now. You can see clearly say right now as we speak omuja ECG dema NDC January 2025 no na ECG de ka 40 billion. And then Samuel Abujina Pobeka Chiremono. Into 2023 no na ECG ka 10 billion. From 2023 to 2024. First 7 January 2025 no na ECG MPP ka Abuja to na 40 billion. So you see, message chat we me boa joy news for boa. Into the question is, why is Dubik Mahama walking around? I'm asking the Attorney General. I'm asking the Attorney General, look at the chart. See the craziness. Can't go for way Jatuo. It's end up with Ghana Muti, Dum Saba, some bodam. Monquasia Fona, Master Bukomu, Mosia Sikonko, Naman and social media. And I like to know, and I'm some crassive for ma. Muhunya, Muhun can be. This is what your MPP, Monquasia MPP na, Modu Sogumuna Mosomono. This is what it left. Into Dubik Mahama, he left a ECG September 2024. Into Dubik Mahama, sa 40 billion na Ijatuo or no boss I can to. And they was saying, so I want Ghanaians to understand. Say, I didn't you know, it's not to say yeta will be these MPP people omu somewhere Jimmy. Now, Dubik Mahama na muhune nimuno because of drugs into no ISAU. This is Dubik Mahama. Dubik Mahama Nagasoni. This is him. So we name Dubik Mahama Onye. Some catch we're a drug addict. He's a full drug addict. Or a junkie. Dubik Mahama Nagasoni. And then the I say. A drugs and a man I say. ECG Sikana Oria a drugs no the ball. But say, Dubik Mahama na muhunu ne nima esa no. Drugs na mana esa o. So o kona so mo bod drug. Ewo sa o mo ba no. Na kona drug si o ma no no. Dubik Mahama no ni o. Duro no abo abeduru ha. ECG sika no de abo aduro re de wa ye ni. Eni jam ka che sam ayeni. The Attorney General, put your friendship aside. The MPP, they are crazy people. Mo you hear Dubik Mahama Onye, that is him. Momo, you don't know anything. You can't question him. Wait, or you're a drug addict. Look at him. You see him today, or a drug addict. This is Dubik Mahama. And you drone no ba. Me say. Dubik Mahama has money. Dubik Mahama is going to come and say, I'm going to see Kelvin Taylor. Dubik Mahama. Next week, me baba chiremu adie about Dubik Mahama. Modi amonka se Kelvin Taylor boa. Oh, Kelvin Taylor says it is alleged. It is alleged that Dubik Mahama, he does drugs. And that Kelvin Taylor said somebody is going to put the evidence out there. So, as we speak, Kelvin Taylor says it is alleged. Oh, it is alleged. Dubik Mahama does not take drugs. So it is alleged on this platform. I am saying it is alleged. Dubik Mahama, he does not take drugs. And anything I say, somebody is going to prove it to you that Dubik Mahama is this way because of drugs. So on my platform, it is alleged. Let's say that. Let's say it is alleged. Oh, Kevin Taylor has no evidence. Fine, I have no evidence. It is alleged. He does not do any drugs. He is fine. Onye Bibia. So whatever I'm saying here, it is alleged. I do not have evidence. Fine, I don't have evidence. Dubik Mahama, it is alleged that you do drugs. Is the proof going to come out? Let's see. Until let's see that if it is alleged, so Kevin Taylor says it is alleged. Let's see, say evidence. This is Dubik Mahama. The Dubik Mahama you've been talking about. This guy should have known. It is alleged drugs. Do not underestimate these boys. Yeah, you are shocked. The difference. That is him. Why are you shocked? And your Ozempic no one more. On no Ozempic. You're on board of Ozempic medicine. Where Dubik Mahama in action? Unim red. Na akwa we abetina TV so. Na okekan kwasi asem ne yeso so. Me say compare the two pictures. Let me enlarge it. Send it beya. Almost say Kelvin said it is alleged. It is alleged. It is alleged. Dubik Mahama, it is alleged that he does drugs. So Kelvin doesn't have evidence. Let's keep it that way. This is Dubik Mahama. One shaka krana minum nzio. Mashewi. Mashewi. Into TikTok of one, pick it and go question him.